Very good morning and welcome back. This is Money Monday, your go-to show where we talk about smart money and real growth when it comes to finance. I'm your host Angela Kabete, and today we'll dive into the most powerful concept when it comes to personal finance, that is understanding the difference between assets and liability. By the way, is your house an asset to you? What's an asset? You know, is your car an asset if you have that car? And if you have that asset, if you don't have an asset, utanzia wapi? That is what we are here to figure out. And there's a principle, a book that I've been reading, that is by Robert Kiyosaki, and the author of The Rich Dad and the Poor Dad, and he was saying that only 5% of people truly understand the difference between assets and liability, and 5% are often the one who go to build real wealth. So that's the secret why we are here today, and I hope that by the end of the show we'll be part of the 5%. When you get to understand the difference between assets and liability, probably you have many liabilities, one as on your assets, and that's why today we have an amazing guest. He's full of experience and wisdom. That is Mr. Kiragu, the director of Stack Institute and Driving School. And without further ado, allow me to introduce him to the show. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Happy new month.
Happy new month.
Yeah, we in the month sasa unaona tuko karibu kumaliza mwaka.
That is true. Actually, we are done with the first quarter of the year.
Yes.
So, if you had planned to do something, it is you either embark on it this second quarter, or by the close of the year you will still be procrastinating. Yeah, procrastinating. Yeah. Individual. But then people, you should stop procrastinating. Wasema nitafanya kesho, you know, you don't do it. It is you either do it today or today. Today or today. No. Hakuna tomorrow. Hakuna. Okay, that's interesting. At least mepewa words of wisdom. It's either you do it today or today. Hakuna tomorrow. And today we're talking about that is assets and liabilities. And I would really want you to explain to us what is the difference between assets and liability. Okay. Thank you. That is a very good question. An asset is that which you use to create more wealth. And a liability is the kind of an expense that you incur in your process of accumulating in your process of maintaining the assets that you claim to have. Yeah, and before we got on air, I remember you asking whether a house is an asset or not. Yeah. Depending on what you are doing with your house, if your house is purely for your family use, that is where you stay, you raise your children, that is not an asset. That is not an asset? Why? Because many people with money want to get money, want to be rich and buy an asset. That is a house. A house is not an asset. Why? It's actually, I would say, in a different way. It's more of a liability. A liability? And many people make that mistake. Like you are in a business, you have started a business, but you draw a lot of your money or business money to go and set up a family house in the name of it's an asset. It's an asset, yeah. It sounds like an asset. It's not. Make us understand why. why it's not an asset. Let's say you have okay, I would use the business, the Mizpah Tv as a business. Now, then let's say you are the director. You take part of the profit from this business. You go and put up a home somewhere in, let's say in Mirimani, in Nakuru-Kenya. Yes. Okay. Unless you put up a nice mansionette or a nice bungalow, something like that, where you are enjoying your life there. Unless you have plans to shift the business, the studio from its current position to that area, that is not an asset. That is not an asset. It can only be an asset if previously, let's say the house that you have been occupying, maybe the house that you have been occupying is paid up by the company. Now the Mizpah Tv. Now, after you have put up the home now, the amount which was going to pay rent for your house now will now be shifted, or it's now what you'll be saving from after occupying the new home. In that case, it can be an asset. But if the two are not dependent on one another, it's not. Yes.
Kwa hivyo inasema that nyumba si an asset.
It's not an asset.
I really want to hear from our viewers. Do you think, according to you, a house is an asset? Because our guest ametuambia nyumba sio asset. Many millionaires, they want to buy houses in the name of that is an asset.
Okay, you said something about the Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki.
And that he's a Mafra's writer.
A writer, yes.
As you said about the
5%.
The best known book by that writer is the Rich Dad Poor Dad.
The Poor Dad, yes.
If you go, he has another one, the 4 quadrants, the 4 cash flow quadrants, and in the 4 segments, if you go ahead and you read, you realize even self-employment is not a secure way of doing business.
Self-employment is not a secure way?
It's not.
Then which is the secure way? Which is the path?
You should be a business owner.
Wait, you should be a business owner?
Yes.
That changes everything.
Yes, you should be a business owner and not a self-employed person.
Oh my goodness.
Because with when you are self-employed, anytime you are asleep, your business is asleep.
Yeah.
But when you are a business owner, like the directors, the bishop, and they could be asleep as we are discussing here, but the business is going on.
Okay, probably you could give us types of assets, examples of assets and liabilities.
Okay, well, when it comes to business assets, it depends. When we talk of business, we have goods business, we have surface business. So depending on the kind of business that you are doing, you will require different assets. If you are, let's say your business is goods business, you need to buy the stock. Like you need to, let's say you are a shopkeeper, you need to have the shop space.
Is that an asset?
If it's yours, yes. If it's yours, that is an asset, because your business will depend on the, when you have that, let's say you have a shop space and it's yours, so you can decide to, you can stock it to the maximum, and if the space allows, let's say, let's talk of if you have bigger space, you can buy in bulk and store, then you sell as the demand as demand dictates, meaning you can be procuring your goods directly from the manufacturers. So you stock them, you store them within your space, and you sell them as the demand arises. So in the long run, you see your profit margin is higher than for that person who has a small rented place and he cannot stock much. Yeah, so if you have that that space, that will be that is an asset to you. That is an asset to
that is an asset to you.
That is an asset to you.
Kumaanisha asset inafaa ikurudishie a return, not taking from the business, ama from your pocket the money that you have. An asset,
you see, an asset is more like, it's like a tool for business.
Okay.
So if you have space, that is tool for it. It is promoting, or it's making your business more easier to undertake than when you don't have it. You could also find someone with like a hardware. He or she has a car, and now not the normal saloon. Let's say he or she has a pickup. Now this pickup can double to be the family car, and the carrier or the transport means for goods sold in that hardware. Now that car becomes an asset.
Oh, that car becomes an asset.
Now that car is an asset.
Lakini kama ingekuwa family car peke yake ingekuwa liability.
It's not an asset.
Ingekuwa liability.
Yeah, the other way a car can be an asset. Let's say you are a consultant. I'm a consultant doctor, and well, maybe my facility is in town here, but I equally go, okay, let's talk of our doctors, what we call consultant doctors in town. You find that a doctor with a clinic, maybe somewhere in Nakuru or okay, West Side Mall. This doctor is that is where his clinic is, but it's a specialist doctor who is giving consultation to patients in what we call Nakuru
PGH.
Yeah, PGH, Broome, the former War Memorial. So for him to move from his facility to the other clinics, he needs mobility. Now, his car is an asset.
It is an asset, yeah.
Yes.
Because it's valuable in bringing growth.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it makes his work easier. Yes.
I would want you to explain to us, in your experience, why do you think people end up accumulating liabilities thinking that they are building wealth? Why?
It's simply because it is simply because of that question is well explained by Kiyosaki, whereby our schools, our formal schools, they don't teach business. They don't teach people how to the money issues or the business issues.
Yeah.
That this is one thing people are left to they need to train themselves the hard way.
Yeah.
And I think this is one reason as to why the success of many startups in Kenya, we have quite a big number of them. Like let's say 100 startups start today, in another 5 years, maybe only 10 or less than 10, which will proceed on. The reason being, the literacy, the money literacy, or the business literacy in Kenya, it is really wanting, it's really low. Yeah.
Kwa hivyo watu wana need this financial wisdom, especially kwa access and ability.
Yeah. It is actually, it's a must have. If you claim to, if your passion or your area is business, you need to train yourself in a bigger way. Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. I believe that sasa umeelewa the difference between assets and liability, and I hope you have not been shocked ukiambiwa that your house is not an asset, lakini pia gari inaweza kuwa asset depending on how you utilize it, you know, depending na ametupea example ya a car can be an asset, but a family car is not an asset, but if unatumia gari kwa biashara na familia, that makes it an asset. I hope that you don't have many liabilities sana. And now let's check that part here, assets and accumulation. You can give us practical examples of assets that an average person can start investing in. An average person.
Thank you. Now, I think what we are doing is part of that literacy. We are trying to create more awareness to our people on how they can, from whatever literacy they have, how they can grow. Yeah. How do you make assets, or how do you accumulate assets?
More assets,
yeah, that
especially
is the question you have asked.
Yeah, for an average person.
From where I sit, the best way I would tell someone is, first of all, understand your path.
Your path.
Your career path, or if it's business, okay, what do I want it to be? I want to be, I'm good in cooking. So my career path or my path to growth, I want to one time I want to have a hotel, let's say. So where do you start? The first asset you have currently, the first asset you have is your phone. Because with your phone, a phone is an asset, you know, for that person. Yeah, you can use it. Okay. You can. It's something at your disposal, but you can make it an asset for your business. One, you can use it to market what you are doing. You can use it to research on how to grow your business. That business. Yeah. Then you can also use it to showcase what you are able to do. Yeah. From that point, once you do, from that point, the only thing you need is credit, nothing else. So with as little as 100 shilling, you can be good to go. The next thing, let's say you have the skills to prepare something. You can prepare chapati, you can prepare madasi, stuff like that. Go ahead, start now. So then look at, study your market, study your area.
Oh, you study your market.
Yeah, I want to okay, the idea is to have a hotel this size, but I am limited. I don't have this money. I don't have the bigger space to go start my hotel there. Start small. Look at your market. First of all, start with your people.
Start with the people around you.
First, if anything, start with your friends, and if any more closer, start with your family people.
Your family people.
Yes. You can, let's say it's my daughter or my son. He can decide on Sunday if the food prepared, the food to be prepared on Sunday, that are his or her work, and a plate of lunch, a plate of food on Sunday, it costs 200 shilling. So I can give 100. I can give 1,000 to support that undertaking. At the close of the day, he would have made maybe 1,500. So out of the 1,000 given, 500 is the profit. Slowly by slowly, it now moves from the family, probably to the cousin.
Yeah.
From the cousins, now to the friends. To
the friends and the community.
Yes.
You know?
From the friends, now maybe to the peers, to the bogey he or she belongs to. By and by, this person will grow. That is one way, and that is through the skill of whereby you are using your skills, the acquired skills, and the resources are fireable. The other option is now whereby one is maybe you the kind of business that you are embarking on, or the one that you want to undertake, the service business. The first thing you can do, if you have the skills, volunteer. Give your services for free.
Volunteer.
Yes. When you volunteer, you will, so many, if any, the who is who, or the blue chip companies in this country or in the world, they will give you access. They will give you leeway to showcase what you can be able to do.
Yeah.
The moment you tell them, I only want to give my service for free, that is actually even another skill whereby people with ability to do, or it is a skill that you can use to get to the company of your choice or your dream company. So where we go wrong, in most cases, you'll find someone, maybe even with a master's, with a PhD, he or she has graduated, but you ask him, what are you up to? I'm looking for a good opportunity to do this and that. And that draws me back to one of my former professor who used to tell us, what are you, after graduation, he could meet you and ask you, what are you doing with yourself? I'm still looking for a job. But the question he would throw back to you was, you have been looking for a job. How can you look for something that you don't know how it looks like?
And now let's hold on hapo kidogo for our viewers. I believe that you are still learning. And you know, Mr. Kiragu have told us, you know, kwa hiyo mambo ya assets and accumulation, he has given us practical examples on you as an average person, as a day-to-day person, on where you can start, the assets that you can start investing. Na ametuambia, number 1, study your path. Number 2, study the markets. Then angalia skills zenye uko nazo. I believe that you're still learning a lot when it comes to assets and liabilities. Stay tuned, but we'll be right back for more. Welcome back. This is Money Monday, and today tunasema mambo ya assets and liabilities. Na nikianza niliwaambia what Robert Kiyosaki says about assets and liability. Na alisema that only 5% truly understand the difference between assets and liabilities. Na akasema, and that 5% are often the one who go and build wealth. And so that's what the secret that you know, and that's how we get to join today the 5% who you're gonna build wealth and success. And we're back with our guest, that is Mr. Kiragu. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And Tim, in that period tumekuwa na break, there's something that you have mentioned and it has sparkled my interest on assets, and you have said that peace of mind is also an asset.
Yes.
How? Can you explain that to our viewers?
Thank you, Ajara. How peace of mind is part of your asset, it might not be an active asset, but passive asset, is that in many of the businesses that we are trying to talk about, they are either startups, partnership, or where the person, the owner, the business owner is participating in the day-to-day part of the business. So when you have peace of mind, you are able to think through, think positively about how your business will grow. You are able to think positively. Okay, it's a normal shop. You have, by the close of the day, you have sales for 5,000. Then jioni allowed 4. Mwalimu mahali your daughter or your son is schooling calls you for fees. You have a balance of 2,000 to clear. Then at this time, so it is, you have the 5,000, whereby 4,000, maybe 1,000 is your profit, 4,000 is your capital, business capital, learning capital, but you have a debt, or you have an expenditure of 2,000. Now you are torn in between. How nishukue elfu mbili kwanza, nilipe mwalimu, aninyamazie, halafu biashara
tutapata ingine
tutaendelea.
Yeah.
Automatically, what you have done there, the business has lost, because you have taken 1,000, which was your profit. That's okay. Then the other 1,000 you have taken from the stock. But if you had peace of mind, and how do you get this peace of mind? From the onset of the term, you get to know, I have this kind of expenditure to do. So you plan well.
Planning itself.
Planning. So when you have not planned, it will affect your peace of mind. The other thing is also, something also tied to that, is the family support. If you are in a toxic family, it will also affect your business.
They become a liability.
It will become a liability. Yeah. The toxic effect will become a liability. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I believe that now you have understand that even peace of mind, it's an asset for you to manage that business effectively. And let's go back to a key point of discussion before we went for a short break. Ulikuwa unatuambia that is on how the places that an average person can invest on the assets, munyana assets zenye atanza sasa kuziangalia. And in your personal opinion, you could give us the most underrated assets that people overlook.
The other asset that we have, especially the young people, it's time. Time is an asset.
Time is an asset?
A big asset.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Because what you are doing with your time will determine what you will be tomorrow. Okay,
that makes it an asset.
It is an asset, yeah. They say time, it's never, time lost is never recovered. Now, you plan to start that small business of kupiga picha. Then, today, you have your camera, your phone. Piga na hiyo kamera yako, let the quality be poor. Let people start now. See your poor quality, okay, let them challenge the quality, but not the product. At least once you use what you have.
Use what you have.
Then you have moved a step further in terms of achieving what you want to do. But if you wait until you get the best of the cameras,
zile za 1,100.
Yes, you'll take the whole time. Another thing, we are in a world which is changing. The technology is changing very fast.
Each and every day.
So what you could be considering to be the high-tech camera in Kenya right now, after 3 days, your friend from America will come with another sophisticated camera, and you are like, you don't have the right one.
Yeah.
So use what you have.
Use what you have.
And there is a lot to draw from the Bible. Even during in the Bible, Moses was told, what do you have in your hands? And he had the kiboko. So with that, he was able to do something. The same way I would tell our viewers and those who are planning to start business, start small.
Start small.
Start small. Start with what you have. Then another thing that can make your business grow is passion.
Passion.
Be passionate about what you are doing. If you are, especially for surface industry, where I have been more into. If you are in surface industry where you are not passionate about, it will never grow.
What? There's a connection between passion and business?
Yes.
How? Because kuna mtu anataka kwanza duka. Does passion drive huyo mtu kwanza hiyo duka?
You need to have, okay, as you start your shop, you need to know, if it can be possible, have a plan. After starting my shop, okay, I'm starting it so that it can feed our family. Then from there, when our family are fed, what should this shop transit to? To this other thing, like that. Have a clear map. Yeah, with a clear map, you are able to grow. You'll be able to know when your assets are increasing. You'll be able to know when your liabilities are conflicting with your assets, and you'll always be able to control the liabilities so that your asset or your business can grow. But these things to do, back in primary and in high school, we used to be told about you need to have capital.
You need to have capital. Yeah, that's true.
And that capital was more of the assets we are talking about.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But right now, we need to go beyond the physical capital, that is money, to go to the social capital.
Wow, the social capital.
That's what I am talking about. The relation, maybe your family, your spouse. We also need to go to
the
consider,
community, you know.
The community. You also need to consider the acceptability of your business.
Acceptability.
Yes. Finally, you also need to consider what we call the government policy.
Government policy.
In relation to your business, because like right now, so many people who are in colleges a few years before. Right now, if someone is planning to start a Tithe or a college, I would tell him or her to think twice about it.
Think twice?
Yes.
Why?
Because what the government have done, in each and every other constituency, the government is coming up with a Tithe. So you will be competing against the government.
The government.
And with the government, there is the scholarship or the loan. Now, for a student to decide not to go to the government sponsored school and to come to a private, it's only now maybe your selling point will only be quality.
Quality, that will be only the selling point.
Yes, and with quality, you need to have a deep pocket. With quality, you need to invest seriously. And with our people who are still thinking of serikali's idea, chances of you
wewe kupata hao wanafunzi, it will be hard.
It will be hard. So it's always good to consider the government policy. You look into what the government intends to do in the next like 5 years. Yeah.
What in the next 5 years?
You should always be ahead of the government.
Wow.
If you are investing, always see where the country is, and not the country, actually the globe.
The global?
The globe is going, or the world is going. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. I believe that you are learning. Hapo kwanza kwa mambo ya social capital, passion. Na member start small. You know, many people that don't want to start small, mtu anaenda anachukua loan, that is a liability to the business.
I will tell you this. Okay, and this is according to my school of thought. I might be wrong.
Please share with us.
If you are planning to start your business, let's say the business is 100, the entire capital is 100,000 for 100,000. You go to a bank and you take 100,000. I can tell you freely,
please.
That business will not succeed.
It will not succeed. Why?
If you are, after doing your business plan, you realize your business requires 100,000. You need to plan. You need to, maybe you take the 100,000 loan, and you as a person, you give your person now, your persona or your own person in terms of as a worker for free. At least it will require more than the 100 that is in papers. In addition, loans, especially where we are as a country, right now taking loans, especially from banks or even from the circles, right now you need to think twice.
You need to think
twice. Loans are not the way to success for businesses right now, because the interests are so high.
Yeah, it's true.
The interests are high.
We have the taxes.
The statutory obligations. You go to even the circles. The circles are also not as safe as they used to be, because when the government decided to borrow from our banks, so the remaining amount of reserve money or floating money was in circles. So other people now are going to the circles, borrow, and so the amount of money at disposal for loans are very expensive.
Yeah, because
from where I sit.
Because the government wanaangalia the domestic institution wana borrow in within our country.
Yes.
Kumaanisha for a common wananchi interest itakuwa juu sana.
Interest itakuwa juu.
Yeah.
Then we also the economy has not been very good. The economy, not the economy, that is one. Then the other part is the prediction, the predictability. Yes, of what will happen has also not been very good. Yeah. So that affects the kind of business that you can do, because you can think of someone, an agro dealer or an agro-fed person who was stocking the fertilizers. Right now, what is happening? If you want fertilizer, you go to NCPB. Yeah. So that is some part of business which used to belong to some people. It has now been taken by the government.
By the government.
So you really have to. Those were the policies I was talking about.
Okay.
Those were the policies I was talking about. You need to study what is happening daily. Yeah, read more, research more on your business.
Oh my goodness.
And if you don't, utajipata tu imekutoa tu. Yeah.
Kenyan citizens, I believe we are learning that even government policies zita affect your biashara yenye unataka kuanza na in terms of even the assets themselves. And now let's talk about that is managing cash flow, because Robert Kiyosaki, that is the book that I've been reading, he places a great emphasis on cash flow and anasema how important it is compared to simply earning a high income, and how can you ensure that investment are generating a passive income for you yourself or for a business.
That will draw us to the cash flow quadrants I was talking about, whereby we have Kiyosaki has tried to segment the cash flow into four quadrants. Into four quadrants. There is one where you are an employee. An employee. Yeah, that is the lowest. So when you are an employee, your take home is dictated by your employer. It's true. There. Yeah. Then the other, and the way I'm going to categorize them is in the value of the lowest employees, like the lowest, the lowest point, the lowest person in regard to what happens to his or her cash flow. Then we go to self-employed, the one I was talking about. When you are self-employed, your input determines your output. So when you are asleep, your business is also asleep. It's also asleep. If you are a doctor, today you decide to go for some sherehe, You are not seeing anybody. That day your hospital is closed or your clinic is closed. If you are a shopkeeper, the same. Then the other one is what we call the business owner.
Business owner.
So on this one, you come up with a business, you invest, then you let people run the business. So as a business owner, if the management you have put in place are not strong enough, at one point your business can go down.
Okay.
And if it goes down, it affects you. It affects your investment.
Yeah.
Finally, is where we have the investment.
Investment.
You take your money, then you invest like into the best performing companies. Like let's say like Safaricom is doing well currently. Kenya, the other day they talked of Kenya Airways as doing something, generating some money. Equity the same. So if you have good reserve of money, you can invest in those companies. So your money will be earning for you. So at the end of the month or of the year, you get your dividend. So out of the 4 quadrants, the most beautiful one is the last one. The one where you take your money, you invest.
Investment.
Yeah, you invest in some companies. But now, very few of us are able to do that.
The last one?
The last one.
Why?
Because of the amount of money that you take to investment is money that you have no immediate need. Whether you lose it, you are okay. Whether you gain, you don't take your school fees for investment.
So it means investment, you invest pesa yenye you can lose it, you don't need it immediately.
Yeah. And like in some of our banks, they have what we call a fixed deposit.
Yeah, fixed deposit accounts.
You are told bring your 5 million for the next 5 years. So that is an investment. Yeah.
You know, there are people mtu anasema I will invest this 5,000 na hiyo tu ndio anajua anahitaji ya chakula for the next day. Anaenda anaitoa.
That is not an investment.
That is not an
investment. If you have that little money, the best you can do, I would encourage you to be a business owner.
Be a business owner.
Be a business owner, whereby you have people whom you are supervising as they learn your investment. Whereby if you sit down and feel your business is not taking the right direction, you can always intervene. You can sit down and say, no, we have to change and move this.
You have control of your money kwa business yako. But unajua ukienda pale ku invest, you don't have control.
On that one, you don't. And that is one of the greatest mistake we do as Kenyans. I don't know whether back then you are. Yeah, I don't think you are active as you are. When Safaricom floated their IPO, they floated their shares to the public.
What?
So many Kenyans bought those shares.
Yeah.
Thinking they will make money.
Money.
No way. You cannot make a penny. If anything, you lose your money. Because what happens, the who is who, when Safaricom is about they want to generate money from the public, so we have the directors. They sit down and they decide, we want to make 5 billion. Are we together?
Yeah.
So the shares that we are releasing is 100,000 shares. And for this share, in order for us to get good money, we subdivide our shares. What was 100 maybe is multiplied with another 100.
100, yeah.
So it will be 100 million, for example. And one share may be for 100 shilling. So everyone, the wajikos atanunua.
Yeah.
But before they get to multiplying, when it's 100 shares, amongst themselves, wataulizana, how much can you afford? Wacha ninunue 10 for this amount. When they are fairly, they are very valuable. Then, at the very last, wakati they are taken to the stock market, Nairobi Stock Exchange. Now it is the value for those shares are diluted. So hata mukinunua, they will take like 2-3 years before they get value na zianza kufanya nini ku-circulate. If anything, like for Safaricom, I remember people are buying at, I think at 20, iliaguka ikaenda mpaka shilingi 5. So when it's 5 shilling huwezi usa, si ndio?
Yes, sure.
That is a trick used by, it's an internal mechanism by corporates or the blue chip company to ensure that they control the value for their business.
I believe,
so within the 5 years when the shares are less than the buying point, si pesa yako, they are trading with your money at no interest while you are getting nothing. Then after the 3 years or the 5 years, now zinarudi the normal selling point. So wakati huu umekasirika kabisa. You sell all of them. Then the same guys who are part of the in-house, they buy all of them.
So, oh my goodness. Yeah. Kenyans, mmeleo hiyo maneno na bado hiyo part ya investment. Msao umeambiwa that ukifanya investment, make sure that you don't need that money immediately. Usinvest pesa ya school fees. Usinvest pesa ya chakula. Na invest a money that even when it comes to risking, you can risk to lose that money.
Maybe allow me to say this.
Yeah, just in 1 minute.
In 1 minute.
Yeah.
There is a craze, a very funny, a weird way, so to say, whereby Kenyans are, utapata mtu ako na 100 anataka kuingia kwa bet, hii 100 ndio nitapata pesa ya kulima.
Nitapata pesa ya kulima, probably let's say 10,000.
Yes. Mtu anaingia kwa bet, anasema nikigonga hii, niko school fees niko na 5,000, I need niingia kwa bet, nipate 10, nilipe na nifanye 1 2 3.
Isn't that an investment to them?
No. If I am to be asked today,
please do.
That is one thing the government should try and ban completely. Gambling. Because what is happening, people are becoming so busy. People are not working.
People are not working wakitegemea mambo ya gambling.
Yeah, the other day I was talking with a university with a comrade, and he told me with 150 I'm sorted for a weekend. 150 shilling. Kwa sababu I only need 50 ni gambo, nipate another 100 ni kule.
Oh my goodness.
Sijui sabo. But you can imagine if our graduates, and these are the future leaders, if they have fallen trap into the gambling business, then how do you expect people to be patient enough for a startup to grow? Nakaa tu naona hapana, hapa hakuna kitu, let me gamble.
Okay, so I believe that you have learned a lot when it comes to assets and liability. Na hiyo part pia ya managing assets and liability. I believe that according to Robert Kiyosaki, that only 5% have an understanding of what is an asset, of what is the liability. You're also part of the 5%, and then you start making wealth and many wealth and unlock pia that success. Thank you so much, sir, for availing yourself. I believe that Kenyans have learned a lot. His name is Mr. Kiragu. He's the director of Stack Institute and Driving School. The courses that they offer ni cosmetology, ICT, and driving courses. So probably because time is over, you can share your number.
Thank you very much. I will share my. Do I share? Okay, my personal.
You can share number ya shule or your number.
Thank you very much. As Ajara has said, I'm the director Stack Institute and Stack Driving School. We are situated opposite Egerton Circle along Joro Egerton Road, and our number is 0715 198 050. We are also in social media. You can go in Twitter, Facebook, and X. We are all Stack Institute, and we are also in. You can also check our website and reach us. thank you for listening to us. Thank you for hosting.
Thank you so much for availing yourself.
Thank
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Angela Kabete. I had an amazing time interacting and engaging with you. Now, but do you party understanding a house is not an asset? Personally, I'm surprised. I don't know if you're surprised. Well, till next Monday. Bye-bye.